Everyone, my name is Paddy Robinson. I'm with VT Networks. Today I want to talk to you about low power WAN and how it relates to sustainability. So, today we're very lucky to be part of the 40th revolution. Everything from the first steam-propelled engine back in 70s and 80s, all the way through to the establishment of the phrase, the Internet of Things, back in early 2015. Gremlins. Just to let you know who we are, we're VT Networks. We're partnered with 2RN, who are the engineering arm of RTE. Thanks to that partnership, we have deployed a nationwide telemetry network covering near total geographic coverage of Ireland, and also transmitting 150 kilometres out to sea. 2RN are responsible for the 24/7 network maintenance and network operation, and as such, we offer a true nationwide telemetry network. Just to give you a bit of a scope on the landscape, everybody talks about by 2021, 2025, 2020, and so on. We would just like to point out that a very large percentage of an obscene amount of connections within 5 years would be non-cellular. Now, non-cellular to the layman typically today would mean Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Actually, no, that's not entirely true. Sigfox and LoRa are also non-cellular, with Sigfox making the biggest gains in the global game of low power WAN. So why hasn't this happened up until now? What has been the barrier that has prevented the mass adoption of internet connectivity to simple devices up until now? Well, first and foremost, you had the cost of those devices. They were expensive. If you had a GPRS engine, if you had a 2G engine, a 3G engine, a 4G engine, that device would be impacted by royalties. It would be impacted by various certification costs, meaning it becomes a very costly piece of hardware. You then have the cost of the connectivity on top of that, meaning if you needed wireless connectivity, you really didn't need it. If you just wanted it, well, you wouldn't get budget for it. The other area that was preventing the uptake was power. Devices traditionally have been power hungry. If you were to develop an autonomous device, battery operated, you'd probably only get about 2 or 3 days battery life out of it, which is no good. You need something that's months or not years. You then have complexity. If you look at the Nest device, it kind of fizzled in the water and died a death because it was just too complex for the mass to adopt and to settle. If you think about it, most people are kind of scared to even just do pairing Bluetooth phones to a headset or to a car. And then, of course, you've got the range. You know, for true adoption of WAN devices, it needs to be WAN. So that kind of eliminates Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. What we do, well, we provide a nationwide telemetry network. One of our devices will connect no matter where you are in this country. To be honest, it'll connect no matter where you are in 30 different countries. So how do we solve the problem? Well, Sigfox is first to market. We've been first to market by about 2 years now. We're not going to be the only low power WAN technology to market. We've got NB IoT, which will be probably mass market in about 18 months. And we have LoRa, which is kind of a halfway house between a local area network and wide area network for specialized private networks. But the way we, as Sigfox, solved this problem is we've created telemetry devices that have the lowest power requirements of any wireless device on the market today. Typically about 25 microamps on average per transmission. We've created a nationwide network. That network spans the whole country. It's only the mountaintops really that are not covered, and that's down to the fact there's no business case for mountaintops. There's the cost. Low-cost hardware, low-cost connectivity. The majority of Sigfox devices are sub €50. If you were to think about SCADA, for example, wireless connectivity with SCADA, you're going to be talking north of €500 per data point, whereas we can bring that down to sub 100 per data point. Reliability, we offer some of the most aggressive SLAs in the market. We operate a triple redundancy method for resilience. We have at least 3 base stations covering every square inch of land, and messages are transmitted in triplicate. And there's also frame resilience. We're truly reliable. Sigfox also cannot be jammed by today's technology. That's an important one to remember. And the devices have to be simple. A lot of our sensors, alarms, meters, and trackers operate out of the box. As soon as you put the battery in, bing, they're working. Just set up the app on your phone and away you go. As I mentioned, our network is not just in Ireland. We're part of a global project. We're in 30 countries today. We'll be in 60 countries by the end of 2017, and we'll be near 50% of the world in 2018. As I mentioned, in Ireland today, we do have near total geographic coverage. Phase 1 is complete. We're now concentrating on the metropolitan areas for densification. In other words, we want to go deep underground into basements, cellars, and into the underground waterways, the sewage and stuff, the sewers. Sigfox is a low bandwidth network. We only transmit frames, and we only transmit frames with 12 byte payloads, but there's a lot we can do with those payloads. About 90% of small messages now sit within the IoT space. If we look at M2M as it's traditionally known with multimedia, in the future it's only going to count for about 10% of the connectivity market. We don't get involved with anything media related. We don't get involved with text, we don't get involved with voice, we don't get involved with video, etc. We're involved with alarms, sensors, metering and tracking. Some applications that are handy to use, if we think about sustainability, we start bringing metering into play, we start bringing SCADA into play. If we think about SCADA itself, only about 10 to 20% of that is control automation. The other 80% or so is actually data harvesting. It's the measuring of temperatures, of pressures, of activities, of events, and creating events based on that activity or readings. So Sigfox is actually perfect for a big chunk of SCADA architecture. We're starting to see more and more Sigfox connectivity being used now in the likes of solar farms, in wind turbines, etc. Because it's autonomous, we don't have to worry about creating the connectivity. We don't have to worry about worrying about the power supply. It can literally just be fitted to do its job, turned on, and it will work. I want to talk about some specific applications in the sustainability sector. Now, I thought long and hard about this. I thought, okay, I'm going to pick some of the more unique ones just to talk about how we can differentiate ourselves from everything else. First one I want to talk about is connected hen coops. Okay? It's not going to make anybody rich, but it's going to make a lot of people happy. So these people over in France, eggsIting.com, they wanted to create a cheap and affordable way to have organic hens with organic poultry, with organic eggs, in a fun way that, you know, you can exploit companies' green spaces, gardens, and so on. And this is what they come up with. That little hen coop is assembled by hand. It's like Lego. But as part of that Lego build, it's also got all the electronics on there. It's very cheap. It's actually about the same price as a regular hen house. But once it's assembled, right, it's pretty cool. It allows you to monitor the hens. Right, it's got RFID tags on the hen's legs. I suggest you not. It's got little cameras that look at the nest, so it can actually analyse and tell you over time how many eggs you're producing, and it can give you tips and tricks on how to better your production and so on. And it also is very useful for working with children and educating them on to, you know, why it's better to have, you know, chickens and eggs that come from a sustainable source in a natural environment as opposed to coming from battery hens. So it's working well, and those things are actually selling like hot potatoes over in France. We then have the connected greenhouses. Why would you have a connected greenhouse? Well, it's a bit more than that. These are very clever. They've got vertical aquaponics, hanging aquaponics, which basically, for those of you that don't know, use fish waste to fertilise the plants. It's fully monitored, so there's full environmental monitoring. It's completely autonomous off the grid. It uses solar to power itself. It gives some fantastic analytics, and it allows for year-round production. Now, these come in 3 different sizes. One of them is so small, you can actually put it on your balcony. And obviously, you've got the big one, which is used as more like communal. But it teaches people about food autonomy. You know, you can create, they also sell organic and non-GMO seeds, so you can actually get involved. You become part of the My Food community across Europe. People swap tips and tricks about getting the best production out of it. And it's, once you get it going, it's effectively, from that point onwards, it's free. So food autonomy. And last but not least, my favourite, the connected beehive. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the colony collapse disorder that was scaring everybody a few years back. Well, it kind of prompted a lot of people to try and get a better understanding of what's going on inside the beehives, you know. And when you looked at traditional ways of providing telemetry or extracting telemetry from the beehive, you just couldn't do it. You'd have to put in a big battery connected to a solar panel, and you'd have to have like a rectifier and all sorts. It just wasn't going to pack it. Then all of a sudden, with the advent of Cyclops, now all of a sudden you can put battery connectivity in there that could last for years. So that prompted a lot of development. You actually got 3 or 4 different connected beehives now. And these actually start triggering events when it starts coming to vandalism, or if it comes to tampering, or if the bees are actually swarming, which apparently is bad. I don't know, because I'm not a beekeeper. It talks about honey flow, it can measure honey flow, and it also gives early warning with colony collapse disorder. In other words, when all the bees start disappearing from the hive and they're not returning. So a hell of a lot of early warning symptoms. It's cheap. These things are, again, I think 100 euros, 100 plus euros per beehive, which is nothing. So the benefits, it actually reduces the cost of production. It reduces the amount of times you have to inspect the hives. It increases the quality of the honey. It gives tips and tricks and prompts and alerts and encouragement for the apps. By actively monitoring the death rate, it reduces it by about half. And it just gives you a much better... Oh, it also allows people who know nothing about bees to start keeping bees. So it's almost... The apps that run with this effectively teach you how to keep bees. So a total beginner can become a seasoned honeymaker from the word get-go. So that's just some examples of how IoT telemetry can kind of help you in some, I hope you think, unique situations. I didn't want to throw there, you know, wind turbines and solar panels and everything else. I wanted to just throw a little something interesting up there, you know. And I thought, well, chickens and greenhouses and bees, and yeah, that works for me. I gave a talk earlier on which was a lot more serious, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much.